Dan, tell me the one vowel rule again. When there is one vowel in a word, it usually says its short sound, and we mark it with a smile. We're going to sing ah, eh, all the way. Begin. Ah, eh, ah, eh, I know my short vowel sounds. You may be seated. Mrs. Turner wants you to look right over here on our chalkboard. You can see that we have vowels. Tell me the name of the vowels. A-E-I-O-U. If you look here, I see a smile over each of those. A-E-I-O-U, these vowels have a smile over them. It lets me know that they say their short sound. Their what?
Short sound.
Short sound, hoo.
Short sound, hoo.
Short sound, yay.
Short sound, yay.
Good, give me the sound 3 times. Well, in our lesson today, we are going to look at vowels that do not say their short sound. They say their long sound. Their what? Their
long sound.
I want you to look right here at our very first set. Look here. I have capital A and little a. When a vowel says its long sound, it just says its name. It says its what?
Name.
It says its name. So listen carefully. A says A as an acorn. A says A. Listen again. A says A as an acorn. A says A. Say that with me. A says A as an acorn. A says A. Stan, be a football player. A says A as an acorn. A says A. Be a cheerleader. A says A as an acorn. A says A. Yay! And be a cowboy. A says A as an acorn. A says A. Yeah! You may be seated. We're going to learn about long vowels in a word. But just to let you know, if a vowel has a stick over it, it says it's long sound. What does it say? It's
long sound.
So if I look here at this A, it has a stick. And if it has a stick over it, it says its name. It's what? It's
name.
Tell me this sound 3 times.
A.
Terrific. What would this be? Because it's marked with a
smile.
Now, I think you are ready for our next letter. Listen. E says E as an eagle. E says E.
E says
E as an eagle. E says E. Eagle.
eagle.
E. E says E as an eagle. E says E.
E says E as an eagle. E says E.
This would be a long vowel sound because E is saying its name. E. We have A, acorn, E. Eagle, stand up. Let's say our E sentence like. Are you ready? A basketball player. E says E as an eagle. E says E. Whoosh! You may be seated. We have another long vowel to learn. this long vowel, I see capital and little. Now, I'm not going to tell you the sentence, but think in your brain that God gave you. If I says it's long sound, it's just saying its name, so what would this letter say? You know it. Way to go. Listen. I says I as in ice cream. I says I.
I says I as in ice cream. I says I.
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 I says I as in ice cream. I says I.
I says I as in ice cream. I says I.
Please stand and let's say it like a baker. I says I as in ice cream. I says I. Mamma mia! Be a soldier. I says I as in ice cream. I says I. Yes, sir. You may be seated. Look here. Now think about it. If A said A and E said E as its long sound and I says I as its long sound, what do you think O's going to say? You're right. O. Listen carefully. O says O as in open. O says O.
O says O as in open. O says
O. Girls stand. O says O as in open.
O says O.
Just my boys, go. O says O as in open. O says O. Everyone stand. Begin. O says O as in open. O says O. Let's say it Hawaiian. Stay standing. Begin. O says O as in open. O says O. Aloha. Please be seated. A-E-I-O. What do you think the last vowel will be? You're right. It is you. Now, okay. A with the long sounds. A says A. E said E. I said I. O said O. What do you think long U would say? Give yourself a pat on the back. You are right. Put your pats back in your lap. Listen, U says you as in uniform. U says you. Listen again. U says you as in uniform. U says you.
You says you as in uniform. You says you.
You. Stand. Say it with me. You says you as in uniform. You says you. You may be seated. Table 1. Stand. Say it.
You says you as in uniform. You says you.
Good. You may be seated. Instead of singing a, I, we're going to sing A, E, I, O, U. Try it. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. I know my long vowel sounds. Good work. Well, let's see if you really know them. Girls, stand, begin.
A says
Acorn.
A says A.
Voice.
E says E as in eagle. E says E.
Good. If you are wearing socks.
I says I as in ice cream. I says I.
If you're not wearing socks.
O says O as in open. O says O.
If you are ready to say, Mrs. Turner, I want my doings to please God today, stand.
You said you had the uniform. You said you.
Have a seat. So thankful that you're ready to please God, but you don't have to yell. Mrs. Turner is here. Wait a minute. A, E, they're all in order. I'm going to have to mix these up because I think if they're mixed up, then you just won't know them. Just tell me the sound that the long sound makes 3 times.
O says O.
Just 3 times. O, 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 E, 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 U, U, U. We'll work on this in a different lesson, but when you have a word that has 2 vowels, the first one says it's long sound, and the second one is silent. Look here. I'm going to point to short vowel sounds on our chart. Tell me the sound 3 times. But these vowels over here, they don't have a smile over them. They have a stick. So they just say their
name.
Well, let's see how well you were listening. Tell me the sound 3 times. Instead of singing A says a, we're going to sing A says a. And we're going to sing it with long vowels. Let's try it. A says a, E says e, I says I. O says o, U says you. Now I know long vowels. A, E, I, O, U. So if we have long vowels, then they are just going to say they're just going to say their name. Here I have 2 charts. We've already looked at the first chart on the board, but let's look at this chart. I need your help in saying the sentences. Can you help me? Oh, friends, I like those heads nodding. Begin. A says A as in
Acorn. A says A.
E says E as in eagle. E says E. I says I as in ice cream. I says I. O says O as in open.
O says O.
U says U as in uniform. U says you. What would happen if I just pointed to these out of order? Would you still be able to tell me the correct sound? Oh, I see lots of heads nodding 3 times.
E says
E.
O. A. U.
Girls,
A.
students watching. Good. I. Boys.
U.
Table 3.
E.
Table 2.
O.
Table 1.
A.
Good. I'm going to call your table for the sentence quickly. Table 1. A
A
says.
says A as an acorn. A says A.
Table 2 and students watching.
E says E as an eagle. E says E.
Table 3.
I says I as an ice cream. I says I.
Everyone. O says O as in open. O says O. U says U as in uniform. U says you. Boys and girls, in our lesson today, we were able to learn that when vowels A, E, I, O, and U say their long sound, they just say their
Name.
They just say their
name.
A-E-I-O-N-U. You worked so hard in our lesson today, boys and girls. Mrs. Turner is so proud of you. I love when we work together as a team.